All right, we're alerting everyone that we are going live. This is an additional Political Fixer Live. Normally we go live in the evenings, but we have breaking news. For all of you just joining us, welcome. I am Shauna Presley Vircher, the Political Fixer Live, and we are coming to you with a Lunchtime Live because we have breaking news that we want to make sure to share with all of you. For those of you that don't normally catch us, we normally do our live broadcasts on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern. Why? Because Tuesdays are when election news tends to break. We tend to find out what's happening along the weeks, and then we also get to see election results break live on the spot. But we actually had an election of pretty big consequence happen over this weekend, and it has a domino effect that could impact all of us. So as a result, we're going to have our regular Political Fixer Live this evening. This is Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. That allows our West Coast friends and family to join us as well. But we're doing this Lunchtime Live that is specifically dedicated to our breaking news coverage. Again, welcome. Hi, everyone. I'm Shauna Presley Vircher, the Political Fixer, and you're watching us on a special Lunchtime Live because we have breaking political news. Now, let's bring you up to speed on what's happening and, more importantly, how you can help. We're going to tell you what's going on and then give you 4 different ways that you can help. And if you're new to Political Fixer Live, welcome. We see so many of you already on the chat. We really appreciate you. Okay, let's talk about what's happening. Now, forgive the clunkiness on some of this, guys, because we don't normally broadcast sharing the screen here, but bear with me, you'll get the gist. I wanted you to see this with your own eyes. And unlike 90% of the breaking news that's happening right now, this is actually super positive. So if you're joining us during your lunch hour, or if you're dialing in early to start your day on the West Coast, then don't worry, this is actually a positive way to start your day. Okay, now over the weekend, how many of you are familiar with what happened in Tarrant County, Texas? If you're not familiar, let me be the first to have the privilege to share that with you. Over the weekend, there was a special election with this gentleman, Taylor Remitt, and forgive me if I am mispronouncing his name. Taylor is a union leader and a veteran, and he was running on working class issues in the state of Texas for a state senate, a legislative seat in the state of Texas, a special election. Now, this district was rated as an R plus 21. And what that means is if you take all of the registered voters and you look at Republicans versus Democrats, they believe that the Republicans have a 21-point advantage in this particular district. And then if you look at the voting history, not great for Mr. Taylor. 47 won this district himself against Kamala Harris. If you look at just this district, by 17 points. That's right, 17 points. So what happened over this weekend? Well, first of all, let's talk briefly about the fact that the race was over a weekend. That's your first sign when the GOP knows that there's trouble. MAGA knows there's trouble. They try to delay and hide the fact that elections are happening. So on a very cold Saturday evening, there was this special election. And guess what, guys? Taylor crushed it. Taylor defeated his opponent, and not by a little. I'm showing you the official Tarrant County results right now, and he won by, looks like 12 points right now, almost 12 points. So when you consider that 47 carried this district by 17 points, that's around a 29-point spread. That's a huge flip. In our business, we say that something is considered flippable if it's around 5 to 7 points under normal times. These are certainly not normal times. And in what the Tarrant County GOP chair described as a ruby red seat, Democrats pulled off yet another blue wave victory. Amazing, right? I see all you guys were already at almost 1,000 likes. This is phenomenal, right? Okay, so let's keep going. So what happens from there? And I'm trying to see you guys in your comments and your questions, but I'm having a little bit of trouble with that. So if I do not see all of your comments and get to them, I apologize. We're not used to doing lives this way, so forgive me. Okay, so Great. We have Taylor winning in Texas. That happened Saturday. So, what is the good news I'm bringing you today? So, we had Taylor in Texas, Senate special election, union leader, veteran. He's down against the mat with 17 points and he crushes it. Well, let me introduce you to something that's happening in Florida that's breaking right now. Let me introduce you to Brian Nathan. Brian Nathan is running for a state senate special election. Now he's running in Florida and not in Texas, but guys, you're not going to believe this. This guy is a veteran and a union leader running on working class values. The parallels could not be more clear. I'm going to go ahead and show you. This is him with his wife, Tanya, who is the co-campaign manager. You guys can see his website on brianforfl.com. Now, the first thing you might be wondering is, yeah, but that's Florida. Can we win? The second thing you might be wondering is, why should I care? And the third thing you might be wondering is, what can I do? I'm going to give you all of that information in short order. All right, let's start with whether, I do see the comments coming through. Hi, New School, so good to see you. I see we're at 1,500 likes already. This is amazing. All right, so let me spoil it for you guys just a little bit. Of course, any money you can spare for this race, yes, but there are 3 ways you can help that have nothing to do with giving money. In fact, you could be responsible for Brian getting $50,000 in his campaign account just by raising your voice. So we're going to show you exactly how to do that. All right, so let's talk about Brian Nathan. He is a veteran leader. He lives in the Tampa Bay area, and this is a special election in Florida. The election is happening March 24th. Right now, at the time we're filming this, I want to check my math here. Yeah, less than 50 days. Less than 50 days to go in this special election blue wave race. Why do we have this special election? I will tell you. Because Governor DeSantis, many of you know, Florida's governor, Governor DeSantis, he chose a new lieutenant governor. That lieutenant governor, Jay Collins, was this state senator. So he brought him up to Tallahassee, and then we needed a special election. But here's how you know that the MAGA people know that this race is winnable. Because they didn't want to call the election. Much like in Texas, they tried to delay and stall, and thankfully, due to some private citizens and the ACLU, they sued DeSantis successfully, and he was forced to basically do a 180 and actually call this special election. Now, he called this special election for the end of March. And trust me, you're going to want to keep that in mind as this story gets more soap opera-y as we are going on. But let's talk about the task at hand. Can this election be won by a Democrat in the middle of Florida? Let me show you why that answer is a resounding yes. And again, you guys are going to get 4 ways you can help with this race. Okay, brianforfl.com is your website. Let me show you how this race is laid out. Right now, it's about a third, a third, a third. You've got a third Democrats, third Republicans, and a third NPA, are not party affiliated, are independent voters, so to speak. So the question is, when it's this close, how do you measure if this race is winnable? How do you know how these NPAs are going to vote? So we asked ourselves this question because I'm very much involved in this campaign, and we stood back and we said, okay, what math can we use? Well, there's 2 types of math that we're using here. And don't worry, there's no pop quiz on this, but first questions first, how has this district been voting? So we pulled up the map of this district. Here we are. Here's Tampa Bay. You can see his lovely district right here. And we pulled all of these precincts and we asked ourselves, how have they been voting? We asked ourselves, how have they voted in prior elections? So we pulled the congressional races for the last couple of cycles. We looked at how they've been voting in 2024 and how they've been voting in 2022 in these areas. And don't worry, I'm not going to force you to look at spreadsheets for long. Here is the line. In 2022, if you look at how people voted in this district for congressional races, it was only a 4-point spread. Remember what I said it was in Texas? 17 points. This is only 4 points. If you look at the most recent election and how they did in this district, less than 2 points away. We are less than 2 points away from winning this blue wave special election that I believe should be the story of the national blue wave for the next few weeks because it's coming up on March 24th. Now, if you're just joining us again on Political Fixer Live, we're talking about breaking news where a Texas Democrat defied all odds, came back and won in double digits in a seat that everyone had written off, and now we have an opportunity to do it again. And again, spoiler alert, this impacts all of you, whether you realize it or not, if you live and vote in the United States. All right, so this race is super close. And we've got the blue wave happening. Right now, we can measure, and this doesn't count our recent Texas victory, so the number is actually going to go up. Right now, Democrats are winning about 1 out of every 5 seats. They are flipping them. 1 out of every 5 seats are being flipped by Democrats on the legislative level across the country. And I want to thank Bolts Magazine for doing amazing reporting to give us that information. If you can support independent journalism like Bolts Magazine, please do so. So we can quantify this blue wave, and we know that it's around at least 12 points. We need 2 to 4 points. The blue wave is around 12 points. So now this is where it comes to all of you. We can win this. We need 4 things from you if you can. Of course, give to this race if at all possible. When I say every dollar counts, I mean it. Every dollar. That's brianforfl.com. But we understand that not everyone can give. So here's some other ways you can help. First of all, you can share information about this on your socials. Tell people there's a blue wave race. You can tell them about what's happening in Florida. You can advertise this, what happened in Texas. Whatever you can do to share the story, please let me know. And if you tag me on Political Fixer, at Political Fixer, I will do my best to highlight what you are sharing. I see that we're already at 4,000 likes. This is amazing. You guys are almost at how many votes I think we're going to need to win this. Just kidding. Every vote matters and we need every single vote, but 4,000 likes is amazing, everyone. Okay. So, again, some of you are coming on and you're like, why are you live now? This is a special lunchtime live. We will be going live again tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern. No worries, but we had some breaking news for you about this race. Okay, so we've asked you to give. We've asked you to share this on social media. Here's 2 other ways that you can help, including how your voice could bring $50,000 into this race. Okay, first, the easy part. In addition to giving, you can volunteer. Right now, you can either contact this campaign, or if you don't like dealing with people, I totally get it. You can go to brianforfl.com/phone banking, phone-banking, or just phones, brianforfl.com. And right there, at any time, you can get started right now making calls about this race. These calls are going to friendly Democrats who are registered voters in this district. You don't need any experience, but if you'd like training, one of our team members is happy to jump on a Zoom with you and make sure you're comfortable with the process. Just contact us and we're happy to do that. The other thing is the script is right there. We're basically letting people know this race is happening. We are asking them to make sure they vote. And if they're asking us, we're telling them about this amazing candidate, Brian Nathan. So you can go on there and in one click, you start making calls. You can do that anytime between 9 a.m. and 8 p.m. Eastern. Take 45 minutes, do it from your car, do it at any time. It is absolutely necessary so that we can let them know this special election is happening. So we're asking you to give if you can, post on social media, and then phone bank and volunteer. If you're in the area and you want to canvass with us, you can either go to Mobilize and find Brian Nathan here, or if you want to lead your own canvassing, if you want to print out literature and share it, all of it is on the website. All you need to do to jump in and help. All right. Happy Tuesday, Jolie. I see you. I see New School. I see so many different people here. Thank you. We're already at over 5,000 likes. I know it's your lunch hour, so we're keeping this quick. This is a special lunchtime live of the Political Fixer. We will be going live again, but I've saved the best for last. Every single one of you can help us make sure that Brian secures the last minute funding he needs from our party. Show them that this race matters. And I'm going to tell you exactly how to do that. All right, so how it normally works is that when you guys give, there is a campaign limit. And so all of you jump in and you help, and that $20, $10, $100, it adds up so quickly. And thanks to so many of you that I know who are already giving, for those of you who can give, that's brianforfl.com. We'll take any and everything that you can spare. Now, I'm going to give you two more pieces of information, and then I'll definitely be on later tonight. I'm going to tell you how you can help him secure $50,000, and then I'm going to tell you why, no matter where you are in the country, why this directly impacts you. Okay, let's start with the easy part. Right now, there is an organization, the party can give more. The Florida Democratic Party can give more, but they're asking to see that this race has support. So let's show them how much we support this candidate. We've already received endorsements and letters and volunteers and yes, contributions from so many people in the party. We are seeing things from elected officials. For any of you who recently saw Lieutenant Colonel Alex Venman, who is running for U.S. Senate. You guys know him. He is the gentleman who stood up to 47 and he shared the truth about what happened, and he was stripped from his post as a result from doing that. Do you guys remember Venman? If you don't follow Venman and you don't follow his wife, Rachel Venman, you're missing out. They're amazing, fearless heroes. Well, Venman is now running for U.S. Senate in the state of Florida. That's right. We could flip yet another seat. And Venman and Brian Nathan are both veterans, and they have both endorsed each other. So this race is something that is huge and important to everyone. We have Progressive Caucus, Jewish Caucus, Hispanic Caucus, Black Caucus, LGBTQ Caucus. Everyone is coming together in this community to support Brian Nathan and this special election of Florida. But we need one more thing. Senate Victory, the fund that is responsible for deciding if they will support senators in the state of Florida. Here's their website. This is Florida Senate Victory. What they do is they help elect more Democrats to the Florida Senate. And just today, they said that they would love to see more signs of support for Brian and this community. So make sure that you tag them in whatever you can, record videos. This is their TikTok. It's Senate Victory FL, Senate Victory FL. And I understand it. It's an unassuming presence. They've got like 15 followers, but don't let that fool you. This is a pretty powerful organization behind the scenes. Right now, if you look at what they have fundraised for just last year for this type of race, $1.7 million. I don't know if you guys can see this on my screen here, $1.7 million. And they are considering giving $50,000, that's about 3% of their budget, to this special election. So we want you to reach out to them and let them know that this is a race worth supporting. You could get your followers, your friends, your family, just reach out to them and tag them on either social. You can reach out to them on social, or you can go to the FloridaSenateDems.com website and you can make sure to tag them there. Again, that's Senate Victory FL. And so you can make sure, and we have over 6,000 likes on this. This is amazing. And if you'd like, you can reach the party chair as well. She has around 28,000 followers. Maybe she could push this race out as well. That is Nikki Freed FL. So make sure that you tag them and you let them know that this race is important to you. Okay, possibly I've buried the lead. Possibly I have shared the most important information last. But let's go ahead and dive in. And I want to thank everyone for helping us reach our goal so early on this Lunchtime Live. We surpassed our goal of 5,000 likes. We're at almost 7,000 likes. And you also helped us surpass our follower goal of over 250,000. We're at 258,000, over 250,000. Thank you guys so much for helping to support the work we're doing to bring you political information on the ground. Now, this is the most important thing I'm going to tell you on this Lunchtime Live. All right, DeSantis. Comes back to him always, doesn't it? Remember, I told you that this special election, and if you're just joining us, we're talking about the next blue wave race, which is happening right now in Florida. That election is set for March 24th. It is a special Senate election, and unlike the election that just happened in Texas, where they crushed it and won by double digits, this race is actually very close. We estimate between 2 and 4 points. Now, DeSantis is very well aware of how close this race is, which is why he tried not to call it and got cute with it. Florida has a legislative session where they meet and they pass all of the laws of the season. We're a very big state, but we still have a part-time legislative session. And that legislative session is going to be over at the end of March. What a coincidence. He called this election for after session would be over. But there's a plot twist. Have you guys been following the redistricting that's been happening in states like Texas? And then they passed a ballot initiative in California for their congressional redistricting. And then Virginia is trying to redistrict. And it's been going back and forth about the congressional maps. How many of you have been following that story? I see quite a few of you with hearts on that story. Okay, so with this redistricting, what they're trying to do is draw the maps to rig it to where more MAGA people get elected and redraw the maps. Now, Florida is trying to do the same thing, and that redistricting session has been called for April. Now, we verified all of the laws, we talked to all of the lawyers, all of the peoples, and we can confirm that when Brian Nathan wins this special election in Florida for Democrats, he could be one of the deciding votes on the floor for this congressional redistricting. Now, what does that mean? That means that his voice could help stop this. And this is not a sure bet. Republicans are not on board with this redistricting. Every vote in the state Senate will matter. Brian can help to stop the rigging of our congressional maps, and that will impact the congressional makeup of the entire nation. This is a huge race that they do not want you to know about. They haven't mentioned it. They're trying to hide it. Just like with the Texas election, they're trying to get cute with when it was scheduled. But you all can change that. You can help make this race as public as possible and share this information. Share the fact that it's winnable, that we estimate it is between 2 and 4 points. Share the fact that you know the blue wave can make this happen. Look at what's happened in Texas and in Virginia and in New Jersey and so many other places. We're here. Our voices are ready to be heard. We can win this. Let them know that Brian's an amazing candidate. He's great on all of our issues. He is a veteran. He is a union leader. He has 2 daughters, an amazing wife. This is the type of guy. This is our Congresswoman Kathy Castor, who came out and canvassed with us, who has been so supportive on this race. You guys might not know her, but her voice is on the petition right now to impeach Kristi Noem about this ICE situation. Democrats are coming together. And that is terrifying, MAGA. If any of you saw 47 posting nonsense about we need to control these elections or maybe we shouldn't have these elections, yeah, it's because they're scared of all of you. So please do what you can to support this race. Share it with your friends. Give what you can. BrianForFL.com. Tell people what's happening down in Florida and that the blue wave is real. And let them know that this impacts everyone because of the congressional districting. And if you can, please reach out to Florida leadership and encourage them to get behind this race. We understand that we are used to having our hearts broken in the deep South. Any of you who are Democrats in red states are very painfully aware of it. But we know that with their support and yours, we can do that. So reach out to Senate Victory, reach out to Nikki Fried, our Democratic Party chair, and let them know that you believe that the blue wave is going to reach the shores of Florida. We appreciate everything you're doing. We're going to be live tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern. That's 9 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday. If you missed any of this broadcast, don't worry. We'll put it on all of our socials at Political Fixer. We're going to be talking about what's happening with ICE across the country. There's some new developments that are unfortunately not great news. I want this broadcast to be positive. That one's not going to be. We are going to talk about what 47 has said about voting action. We're going to cover some more blue wave action across the country and how you can get involved. And we're going to be talking about all of the latest headlines. And of course, the most important stars of the show are you. We're going to get your audience comments and questions and make sure that you have access to not just me, but our entire Political Fixer family, who I gotta say are pretty great. They're gonna jump in the chat and help you with anything that they can to make sure that we rally together as a community and we make a positive impact. Until tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern, please go to BrianForFL.com. That's BrianForFL.com. And I also want you to tune in and follow me at Political Fixer for our live tonight. I'm Shauna Presley-Vircher. Be kind to yourselves, take care of each other, and take care of this amazing country of ours. Thanks, everyone. Oh my gosh, 8,000 likes. You guys did amazing.